Hello once again, gamers. CruiseNickX back with more Final Fantasy XIV goodness. We are well into patch 4.1, aka The Legend Returns. Before we continue, let us introduce our crew for the evening, as always. The Dragoon on my left is none other than the best damn Dragoon that doesn't die, Skaithlegna. The Mikote in front of me in most of Squall's outfit, except for the Tantalus boots, is the ever popular Crimson Fang. Who is currently chatting in the FC chat, so. And the lovely white mage on my right is, as always, the beautiful Sarah Walker. And as you all know, I am the titular Chris Valentine, the one, the only CruiseNickX. So we're going to be continuing the main scenario quest. When we last left off, we had been in talks with Lord Lolorito, who I still have mixed feelings about. But when we left off, we had a pretty good plan of how the Sultana was going to distribute funding, the Crown's funding in Ul'dah. So we're going to see just what's going to go down in this next quest line. And I totally forgot to invite everyone to party. Sarah Walker and Crimson Fang. Alright, where is... there she is. There's Nanamo. Alright, so, we're going to continue on the quest line with the level 70 quest, Securing the Saltery. Let's get right to it. Let's hope I can do these female voices.
Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Chris, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hex on your return to Ala Mhigo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Ala Mhigo and Ul'dah both.
Alright. To the Ala Mhigan quarter we go, which means we're heading back to the locks. It's a beautiful, clear day in Ala Mhigo. Alright, we can see that Whiskar are involved in Alphino are all gathered as well, so... Oh, there we go. Where are we? Oh, here comes, Krim. And there's Skaith. Alright, shall we? Voices, no voices. No voices.
Chris! You're back! What did Nanamo... Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? So, Raubahn says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure what he wants to. Tell us something we don't know. But I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home.
And this plan to revitalize the Saltery does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, niece, assuming the interim government elects to accept Ul'dah's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Ala Mhigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control.
Honestly, Alphino, it's like Hugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss this proposal with the Saltery's residents. Whiskar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Watt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything.
Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Chris? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. Works for us. Alright, Alarubra. We ride! Or better yet, we fly this time around. Oh man, it feels so good to fly. Alright, we're off to the Saltery. I kind of want to know what Orion got in terms of crafting materials, but we'll see what happens. Wait, I thought we were going to the Saltery. Oh, yep, we are. We're here. God, I love this thing. Alright, let's speak with Watt. What manner of mischief brings you young'uns to Old Watt this time, eh? They want to rebuild the Saltery, Granddad. Chris, tell them about the deal. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hands to put the place back to how it was, but it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat everyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to cull the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Grandad. We'll take care of all that. Commander Hex has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I asked. Well, I appreciate that, Whiskar, my lad. Truly I would. So, does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training, aye, but mostly to kill Imperials. You've some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Chris? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? Works for me. Let's not waste any time then. I'll see you by the lock. Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master Watt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Saltery to its former glory. Good hunting! Alright, let's do it. Right then, Chris. I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at those pests. Once you got their measure, you can tell me what to do, and we'll see how well I get on. Search your surroundings for yabbies. You may blah 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 blah. Alright. Discover a weak point. There it is. Thanks, Krim. The Yavi's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head looks soft and vulnerable. Ah, looks like you found a Yavi. They say hitting their shells like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Aim for the soft underside of the head. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then. Wish me luck. I kind of want to see what would happen if I had said just hit it as hard as you can. Well, that was fun. Thanks, Chris. I did just as you told me, and the Wavekin went down like a sack of poporos. Let's find something else. Where is he sending us now? Somewhere here it is. I think I can handle the Yabis now, so we should try something different. What else is out there? Phobads. Oh, it's the eye this time. But it moves so much that it's just annoying. The Phoebad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the salt golem inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. Ugh, a Phoebad. How do I defeat one of those? Destroy... Inside its head, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes then. And it's down, folks. Da 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 da. Let me guess, there's one more. It's not easy, fighting with the liberator of Ala Mhigo watching your every move. But I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Chris. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the Saltery before Granddad starts to worry. I've been snipped to into pieces and fed to a Yabi's hatchlings. Alright, back to Saltery. I see you've returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? Aye, fought them myself. After a bit of instruction from Chris here, like. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you've become, Whiskar. A fine young man indeed. Too often of late I hear tales of folk over in the city, drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve the lot. Things like getting the Saltery ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. Well, that works for us. Let's continue on. Ooh, a blissful arrival. It seems Whiskar has the Saltery's security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt, and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings. Message from General Alden! Apologies for the interruption, sir, but the General would speak with you at your earliest convenience. Do not feel obligated to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt, and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Oldna. Can't talk today. You should go. Wait for him by the main gate in the Ala Mhigo quarter. My apologies again, sir. Fare you well. Main gate, huh? Alright, let's hoof it. Now the question is it on the inside of the Ala Mhigo quarter or the outside? Inside, of course. Now see, I would teleport, except I kind of enjoy flying a little bit more. And here we are. Alright, let's wait. God, every time I look up at that sky, I think of how much I love this fucking game. There's Raubahn.
Apologies for the wait.
No problem, Raubahn.
People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours.
kinda is.
We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
Don't remind me of those
Well,
assholes.
it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
As much as I would love to say their lives would be forfeit, execution isn't the answer.
You would spare these animals? Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard. Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
What's the betting that Raubahn talks about him coming back to Ala Mhigo?
I bear a share of the blame for Ilberd's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Ala Mhigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did.
Nah, he probably still would have.
Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't.
I'm sorry too. You lost your arm in this whole debacle.
But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Ala Mhigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
And he's saying that with a shred of doubt.
Father...
Pippin knows it too.
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword. But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
You don't have any doubt of that. Alright, that's... Well, that was a little touching. Though I think Pippin still has some lingering doubts. Wait, how'd you get that? You went ahead of us, didn't you, Krim? I knew it. I had a feeling. Needless to say, I felt I felt like trudging on ahead, but then again, we wouldn't have had this little chat. But anyway, let's speak to Raubahn again. That took longer than intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled. Arnvald, what news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Ananta has arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the Vera. These are the Kalyana, the ones that summoned the Primal. They're insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lise is trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all the native beast tribes, but we assumed that Kalyana would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Chris, you've dealt with these Kalyana before. I'd have you at my side. Alright, let's move. Oh, I see where they are. Alright, let's see. Voices? No voices? Damn it.
Chris! Raubahn! God, it's good to see you. Ah! The Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss. But we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Girabania home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Ananta. It is our wish, and you are welcome. But we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will all be returned when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask. But you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors.
I reckon that's the closest we're going to get to a compromise. And we will have people standing guard. Aye, let them keep their swords.
Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber.
Well, that's good. No violence needed. Why do I have the feeling we've welcomed a viper into our midst? Because we literally let a bunch of snake women into the frickin' Ala Mhigo quarter. Come on! Alright, with the measure of his reach orchestrion role, we'll just add that to the orchestrion list. And we will take a the Cruisenix Purgatory. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Click here to watch other videos made by me. Click here to watch the previous episode. And until then, Cruisenix signing out.